Okay, so good evening, everybody. Myself, Dr. Sana, and I'm here to take a session on entrepreneurship, wherein we'll talk mostly about the creativity and innovation in entrepreneurship, like how to actually launch a new venture, what are the steps we need to take for that, right? And this session, I'll try to make as interesting as possible because this would be an interactive session where I require your cooperation as well. We all have heard about this word entrepreneurship at some point in time of our life. So what entrepreneurship basically is, it is nothing but pursuing a dream for making money, right? So what you love to do and what you're good at, you take it as your business, right? You start up with this venture and be your own boss. That is the beauty of entrepreneurship. So before we formally define it, before we go into the, we can say, formal definitions, I'll start the session with a very basic question. Now, I ask you guys, what is your goal in the next 4 to 5 years down the line? And I hope to see interesting answers. You can unmute or you can write in the chat box. Yes. Yes, Mohammed. What is your goal? It could be anything. Like trying to get a secure job, marriage, taking care of your family. What do you think down the line, 4 to 5 years? What is your goal? Yes, Hafiz, please tell me.
Okay, thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak up. My goal
Yeah.
is to become a good teacher in my life because teaching is the best profession. That's why I want to become a good teacher. I'm also teaching now in my shelter, also NGO as a teacher, but I want
Okay.
to become a professional teacher.
Oh, that's great. That's a great answer. Yes, Tarannum.
No,
Yes, Tarannum. Your hand is raised. Please reply.
Yes, according to my opinion, one of my goals is that as an entrepreneur, I would like to have an enterprise that will serve the community, giving goods and extending services to my community and to others, so as to influence them in the next future to also become entrepreneurs in the system.
Okay, great. So again, a great answer. Yes. Now Tarannum. Okay, Okimwa.
Yes, and another another way, like as a goal in end, is that becoming an entrepreneur, you are helping to develop up the community. That is one of the way as to why we always set enterprises.
Again, a great answer, like building your community, solving the issues that your community faces. Basically, when we talk about entrepreneurship, the first thing should be, it's fine that we are not into a charity. We have to make money. But the first thing should be we should take care of the community needs and try to fulfill their needs through our business. Right. Yes, Godfrey. What is your take on
Yeah,
that?
yeah. My My goal in the next 4 to 5 years is really to become a successful farmer where the community can also be able to learn from what I'm doing. Thank you.
Great, great. Again, we can say a good answer. Yes. Anybody else would like to respond?
Hello, madam.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Hi.
Thank you so much. Thank you for organizing such a wonderful program. My name is Fikado. I'm from Ethiopia. And again, I'm a
Okay.
product of India. I learned my PhD from Andhra University. I
Great.
really appreciate it. My goal in the coming 5 to 6 years is to expand my training in business consultancy firm that I started 2 years ago. Entrepreneurship, I feel, is not only starting something new, it is also expanding and reaching to more community. So my plan, my goal is to expand this business and reach to so many people. Thank you so much.
Very nice. Thank you so much for such a wonderful answer. Yeah, anybody else before I start with the formal thing? Okay. So if I try to say what entrepreneurship is, it's first of all very important for us to understand, like all of you said, your goal, like most of you, your goal in next 4 to 5 years, in one way or the other, we know that we have to experience the joy of financial freedom. Be it your taking care of your family, be it taking care of the health of your parents because they're also getting old, be it that you want to live a quality life, right? Everywhere you would require to experience the joy of financial freedom. But it's not possible, right, that anybody will give you a fat check to meet your operational expenses. We very well know that this is something which we cannot actually experience, right? So nobody is going to give us that fat check. So we have to learn to get there through our own actions. And entrepreneurship is one way, right? Wherein we can not only grow our income but help our community by fulfilling their needs, by giving quality products to them, right? And of course, trying to help in the country's economic development. Because it has been proven through research, through academic research, that entrepreneurship leads to economic development, right? Because especially in developing world wherein we are actually having the issues of unemployment, right, where the jobs are limited. Now if people will start waiting for the jobs only, what will happen to their livelihood? What will happen to the community? What will happen to the country's economic progress? So entrepreneurship, we can say it is a backbone of economic development. So we know that it plays a very important role in creating as well as growing business. Like, I'm sorry, I forgot the name, but somebody just said it's not about creating something new. It means growth as well, it means expansion, right? Of course, the beginning for entrepreneurship is always humble, right? Entrepreneurial actions, they begin at the nexus of a we can say a lucrative opportunity, which means that just two things we require for an entrepreneurship to happen. Number one, a good business opportunity, and number two, an enterprising individual. Now, when I say an enterprising individual, it means something who is actually an entrepreneur. And for that, I have actually come up with a very interesting activity for all of you, for which I'll give you 5 to 10 minutes to do it, and I'll be with you in the session only. So we'll do an entrepreneurial self-assessment survey, right? How good we can be as entrepreneurs. Do we actually have that entrepreneurial quality in us? Right. So are you all ready for the fun-based learning activity? So are we good to go?
Yes, ma'am, inshallah.
Great. Here is the self-assessment survey. What you have to do is, again, not a test. This is for your personal information to know yourself better as an entrepreneur. So here are some 20 statements. And if you strongly agree, you have to give a number 5, then 4, then somewhat agree, 3, somewhat disagree. We can say disagree, then it is 2, and strongly disagree is 1. So just keep a notepad or whatever, if you want to do it in your mobile phone, just do that and rate yourself against each of these statements and then do a total of the numbers you have got. Yes, Hamid, you have something to say?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I have joined a little late, uh, according to the meeting time. Just yeah, I am reminding you that I am late something a few minutes.
Yeah, you're reminding me that.
Gigi, actually, I have joined a little minute far from
Okay, no
according to our
problem.
meeting time. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No
Is there,
problem. What you have to do
ma'am,
is you have to simply, yeah.
yeah, is there any attendance in our meeting today?
Yes, that is, you have joined, you would be getting the attendance. Probably that shouldn't be an issue. That is the administration to look after mainly. So don't worry, just enjoy the session and participate and do this self-assessment survey.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Great, welcome. So everybody rate yourself from 5 to 1 for all these 20 statements and then do a total of it. So I'm hopeful that the statements are readable.
Okay, okay, this is clearly readable.
Okay, great. So just do that. I'll give you 5 to 10 minutes, then make a total of it. So the disclaimer is at the top. Answer each of the following questions as honestly as possible. This is a self-discovery. for you as an entrepreneur?
Yes, hello. The chat
Yeah.
box is active. I don't understand. Like the chat box is not active. So I'm like, how then should we respond to you?
Sorry, which point you are not able to understand? Yes, Okimoa, which point?
Not any point, but I'm like the chat box on how we should respond to you is not active.
Okay, you don't have to respond to me. You have to just write it in your notepad, right? The points for each and every statement and then make a total of it. Maybe you have a piece of paper in front of you or a tab. You have to just write down the numbers and make a total. You don't write to need the statements. Neither do you need to write it on the screen.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Welcome. Yes, Hamid, tell me. Your hand is raised.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, yes, ma'am. Actually, I want to say about this slide that is given below. Question one, self-assessment 1 to 20. How can we do with this? Actually, I have written this statement 1 to 20.
Okay, no, you don't need to write the statements. You just need to write the scores. Like for statement one, if you strongly agree with it, write 5 on your notebook. Then plus the score for statement two, plus the score for statement three, and so on. Then do a total of it. You don't need to write the statements, or neither do you need to write on screen. Yeah?
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, uh, can you say again, ma'am?
Yeah. You just have to write the score on your notebook, not the statement. That means, suppose you are willing to work 50 hours or more per week regularly. If you strongly agree with it, write 5 on your notebook, which is in front of you,
Yes,
or your mobile phone. Just write the scores only, then make a total of it.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Actually, ma'am, can I add something in this question?
No, no, you cannot add anything in these questions because this is a research-based survey. So these 20 statements should be answered only with the scores depending on your agreement or disagreement. That the scores you will write, and then you will do a total of it. And then I'll tell you how to interpret the result.
Okay, ma'am. That, for example, if I were I am willing to work 6 hours or more per week regularly. In this sentence, if I were agree in this sentence, I should give a strongly agree. It means
Yes.
number 5 in the balance in the number one sentence.
Number 1 is strongly disagree. And then the 2, 3, 4 are the other degrees. Like 4 is agree, 3 is somewhat agree, 2 is disagree, and 1 is strongly disagree. It is like that.
Okay, I should note in my notebook.
Notebook, only the scores so that you can total the numbers. Only the numbers you have to write.
Okay, okay, ma'am. It is 1 to 20 question, but a score.
Yes, Niyar,
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
welcome. Yes, Nair. So you don't even need to share your scores with me, but you have to total so that I can tell you the interpretation. Right. So you can give me a confirmation in the chat box that you are done without mentioning your score. If somebody wants to share, not a problem.
I'm done. Yes, doctor.
Okay, done. Great.
I'm done, but the chat box seems not to be active.
You do chat box is not active. It is, but I think it should be active. Just let me check once. Is my message visible to you? Yes, can you see my message in the chat box?
No, ma'am. The option is the
Okay,
option
maybe
is
the
Chat
admin
box
has
is
then
closed.
not active.
disabled. Maybe the admin has disabled the option for you. I don't know why. There may be some reason, probably. Okay,
I
just you
think so,
can.
ma'am.
Okay, no problem. You can just verbally communicate to me that you are done so that I can move on to the interpretation slide.
Okay, ma'am. Please proceed.
There's an infection there.
Yeah, for me, I'm done on my side.
Great, great, great. 2, 3 more confirmations and I'll proceed.
I'm also done with.
Okay, great.
There's an obstruction there. We can't see the question.
Yeah.
There's an obstruction. Can you remove remove that thing? Okay.
Okay, so shall I move on to the interpretation?
Yes, Doc, you can
Yes,
move on.
ma'am.
Okay,
You can
thank
go
you.
ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So if your score is between 80 to 100, right? So this means that you have outstanding ability to be an entrepreneur. That means you are excellent at this job of becoming an entrepreneur based on your self-assessment. Now, if it is 60 to 79, it means that you have a satisfactory ability to be an entrepreneur. That means, yeah, not excellent, but satisfactory. Then 40 to 59 means self-employment may not be an appropriate career for you. Because to become an entrepreneur, you need to have certain qualities, which are of course not inborn, which can be inculcated as well. But if the score is like too low, that means you don't feel like being creative, you don't feel like having patience, working for long hours, right? Having that entrepreneurial spirit in you, then it may not be an appropriate option. Then if it's 0 to 39, you should probably avoid entrepreneurship. So this is research based, we can say, survey wherein you can actually assess your entrepreneurial abilities. Right. So anybody who wants to share his or her score? Yes.
Yes, I have in this side 79.
Okay, great. Great, great, great. Godfrey?
Yes, when I totaled my scores, it totaled to 81.
Great, outstanding ability you have. So you should actually see if you can, at any point of your life, decide to start a venture of your own. You can actually go ahead with it because you have that
Yeah.
ability. Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
Doctor, actually, I have a small venture that I started in, very small, but I'm seeing steady progress. But I think I need to do more.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm glad to know that. So I hope you all enjoyed this self-assessment survey.
So much. It has been very, how do I put it? For the lack of word, I would say very educative, and it opens the way you think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. So we'll move ahead. Yeah, now based on this, what do you think is important for becoming a successful entrepreneur? Now it takes me back to this slide. So if you see the statements like the statement 1, I'm willing to work 50 hours or more per week regularly. It means you need to have that patience and perseverance, right? Then you have a statement like, I'm willing to accept both financial and career risk when necessary. That means, like Godfrey, even though his entrepreneurship venture is small, but he might have experienced that an entrepreneur needs to be a risk taker, isn't it? It's not a regular job wherein
sure.
one will,
Sure.
yeah, of course, yeah. So it's not a regular job wherein one will just go early in the morning, do the day's work, do the desk job, and come back, like say around 5 or 6 or 7 in the evening without any risk. The risk is run by the employer, right? Who is an entrepreneur actually, right? Likewise, you see, uh, I would like to take full responsibility for the success and failure of my business. Now, this also talks about something like a sense of responsibility in a person. Is very important, right? Then see the statement number 16. People trust me and consider me honest and reliable. Like honesty and reliability for every businessman, for every entrepreneur, this is something which actually counts. Then statement 9, I enjoy controlling my own work assignments and making all the decisions affecting my work. Now, this is one most important reason why people become entrepreneurs. They want to become their own bosses. They don't want to work for someone else. They don't want to work for anybody else's dreams. They want to work for their own dreams. 19, I can make decisions quickly. That means you have to be a decision maker. Then you need to have a good network of friends. See, in today's world, we say the time of competition has gone and the time of collaboration has come. That means we no longer believe in isolated places which are constrained by different kinds of barriers. We believe in collaboration. We believe in networking. If you form an entrepreneurial network, you can do very well. You can promote each other. You can promote the business of each other, right? You can grow together, which is very important. Like statement 12, good understanding of how to manage a business means you need to have that entrepreneurial ability in you, which is again very important, without which it is not actually possible that one can decide to go for it, right? Managerial skill is very important. You need to manage the people who are working with you, surrounding you. It is very important because you need to extract work from them. Then similarly, we have statements like, I can function in ambiguous situations. See statement number 13. That means we know that businesses are faced with volatile environment. Your technology changes, your macroeconomic fundamentals change, your government policy may change, your legal environment can actually throw challenges to you. Right, your socio-cultural environment has an impact. But there are certain things which are dynamic, more volatile. And as an entrepreneur, you have to function. You cannot decide to give up or quit so easily. So you have to manage your business in a very good way in order to actually become an entrepreneur, to be called a successful entrepreneur. Right. So based on this, can you quickly tell me now, can you quickly answer question, what do you think is important for becoming a successful entrepreneur? Just a one-word answer. Like one of you can say one quality, another person can say another quality.
Actually, you should very creative. And you should
Very nice,
you should
creativity.
take a hardworking.
Hardworking, very nice. A person should be determined, focused on achieving his or her goals. For that, he might have to work long hours a day. What else?
Commitment.
You should
Yes,
make a proper plan. And you should make a proper plan.
proper plan. That means we can say a planning skill is something which is very important to get started as an entrepreneur. Yes,
Of
I
course, ma'am.
want more answers.
Time management.
Calculated
Time
risk
management.
taker.
Time management,
Consistency.
very important. Yes, James, tell me.
Calculated risk taker.
Risk taker, very nice, very important, right? Because this is not a regular job, this is not regular employment. You have to, because starting from arranging the finances for your business, then you have to pay back the financer the money which has been lent to you, right? Then depending on how your product gets launched in the market, everywhere you have a risk. So you have to have that risk-taking propensity in you in order to become a successful entrepreneur.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Can you
what
hear me?
else?
Another one is
Yes, ma'am.
creativity and innovation.
Consistency.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Persistence, very nice.
I want to say about the entrepreneurs to successful in the entrepreneurs.
Okay, great. What else?
Actually, in my past, according to my perspective, number one, commitment. Number two, teamwork. Number three, continuously working. Number four, give up, never give up. Number
Yeah.
five, time management and commitment. Number
Yes.
six, take the risk of the tolerance of these entrepreneurs.
Yeah, very nice. Time management, risk taking, right? If you are not able to manage your time well, you have to have a proper business plan wherein you should know when do I have to market my product, right? If you do, what is the time for which I have to get my product ready? If you don't have a proper time management skill, then it's very difficult to thrive in the market. Then it's very difficult to convince your customer that you are a good business, right? Any value addition,
Yes,
anything
ma'am.
else from somebody else? Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. I want to
Yeah,
say something. First of all, inspire those around you, and don't take no foreign answers, and learn from the best, and stay hungry and ambitious.
Yeah, ambitious, very important. Then only you
Inspire
can
those around you.
pursue your dream.
Yeah, ma'am. Never stand still. Involved with these times.
Yeah, true.
Yes,
Intizar.
yes. Yeah, ma'am.
yeah.
Intizar.
Yeah, Intizar. What else?
Yes, I would also think the ability to see
Mhm.
a problem as an opportunity.
Very nice. It's very important to
Learn.
identify a business opportunity, right? Any
Yeah,
idea
ma'am.
cannot be translated into a business. Say today, if I go to a rural place and I decide to give them a drone delivery for burgers and pizzas, it may seem to be a wonderful idea to me, but it could be that nobody would want to pay much for the drone delivery to get their pizzas and burgers delivered. Right, so seemingly a good idea, but we have to see whether a good idea is good in terms of translating this into a business opportunity. That is very important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, moving further, creativity, innovation, and business ideas, right? We know uh, it's very important. Like for a successful entrepreneur, the most important thing is actually to offer something which is of unique value to a marketplace. Like somebody just said, that it's very important to give something to the community, like fulfill their need, right? So can I say it's really important to see what the community wants from us and then fulfill their needs, right? Because we have to fill that niche gap in the market. That can only be done if you are creative enough. Creative enough means you have to offer something which is of a very unique value for that market. And it definitely requires creativity and innovation on your part. So creative entrepreneur, right? This is a stereotype, but it has been further, we can say, cemented. It has been further enhanced by the famous popular entrepreneurs of the day, the Elon Musk, Richard Branson. Right, Elon Musk is a person who, through his creative and innovative ideas, acquired even the Twitter. Right. So you have to be innovative, you have to be creative to actually expand, acquire, merge, or do something, even start a small venture. You need to be creative because there are already players in the market. There are very few chances that you have a monopoly. That means a single seller. So if the product is already being offered in the market, how do you survive? Through your own creativity. You have to be creative, innovative throughout. Now, when I use the two words together, I have to differentiate between them. They are not the same. That means we sometimes use the words as synonyms, like the creativity and innovation, but they are different. Now, how they are different? See, creativity is something which is defined as an ability to develop something original, right? An original conception, an original idea. That means you have to give an aesthetic touch to your business. And innovation is to create the offshoots. That means there is something already existing. There is already a business idea. There is already a product. There is already a service. Now you are building on it. You are making changes. You are creating offshoots to it. So that is the difference between the two, creativity and innovation. And both are very important in entrepreneurship. Now, can you think of some examples to differentiate between the two? One at a time. Please raise your hands so that we don't skip anybody and give everyone a fair chance to speak in this interactive session. Yes, Hamid, please go ahead. Okay, Hamid, your turn first. Please give me an example to differentiate between creativity and innovation.
The difference between
Yes, ma'am. Can I go
creativity
ahead?
is
Yes, you may. Yes, Hamid, go ahead, then I'll come to Okimoa.
creativity.
According to my knowledge, according to my knowledge, creativity is the act of the having something new. Why? While innovation is the act of the putting something into the practice.
Okay.
Other words, uh, creativity is thinking of the idea of flying into the space, while innovation is building the rocket.
Okay. So can I say the electric bulb invented by Thomas Alva Edison, right? It is an action of creativity, right?
Uh, in an example of the creativity and innovation, a person in a innovation of the motorcycle make them realize actually they can also ride a bike without making and any extra effort. Yeah, ma'am. They
Okay,
just
yeah,
have to click the switch and it starts automatically. But in this example that I gave to you about the creativity and innovation, the total the creation of the new traveling motorcycle is creativity, but the actual invention of the its innovation. I give the example according between creativity and innovation with the motorcycle bike.
great, great, yeah. Thank you, Hamid. Now, Okimwa, your turn.
Uh, Creativity is like giving an something that is new to what is already in existence. For example, if I have a bicycle but does not have lamps, then by me being creative, I can provide and develop the lamps for my bicycle. But innovation is adding value and
Very nice.
developing a value to what is not there. For example, if I have a business, but in my business there are no there is no market, then I will have to be innovative in the way that I have good brands for my goods, for my customers.
Great, great answer. Yes. So even in your bulb example, creativity, you have made it clear, explained it very well. And if I talk about innovation in the same thing, maybe you can do some value addition to the bulb. Be it in its voltage or maybe making it more attractive, right? So that means something is already there and now you are building up, say adding one more bulb or something like that, right? So that is a great example given by you, Okimwa. Thank you. Now I go to Intizar. Yes.
Ma'am, first of all, creativity is the act of conceiving something new, while innovation is the act of putting something into practice. Creativity is thinking up the idea of flying into space, while innovation is building the rocket.
Very nice. Again, we can say a very interesting and meaningful example given by Intizar. Yes, Mohammed. Please unmute,
Yes,
Mohammed. Yeah,
yes, ma'am. Creativity is the act of connect, concerning something new, while innovation is the act of pulling something into practice. For an example, creativity thinking includes problem solving, writing, visual art, like communication skill, and also open mindedness.
right.
Here are some creativity and innovation example. You may think so. The electronic company LG introduced a new type of screen that is fixable
Okay,
enough to roll
okay,
up like a newspaper. This is one of the careless innovation. An innovation example as it solved the problem possibility. I think so,
great.
ma'am.
Yeah, great, great. Again, a great example. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
You're
anybody
welcome.
else? Okay. So thank you for the lovely and meaningful answers. Now, entrepreneurs and creativity. See, it's very important that this creativity is very helpful to a businessman or a businesswoman for that matter, right, for starting with a very basic business journey. That means you need to be creative to come up with a business idea. Now, suppose I'm walking through a community, through my own community, and I actually realize that there is some unfulfilled need. There is some demand which I can actually fulfill, right? Say, for example, there is not a creche wherein the working mothers can actually keep their babies for babysitting the whole day. Now, for coming up with this idea, I need to be creative in the first place, right? And now, if I am a highly creative person, I may come up with an exceptionally creative idea, right? And this is like, we can say, see, creativity is something which is defined in a similar fashion for art, for science, for entrepreneurship, for everything. The basic thing, like we can say, an artistic creativity. You actually are drawing inspiration from your favorite books, from the TV shows you watch, from the nature you are watching, from the conversations you are having with your family, friends, and colleagues, and even from the existing products and services. So, what are the two main methods in which you can actually use creativity for ideation, for idea generation? We call it ideation. You can brainstorm or you can mind map. You can actually try to visualize the opportunities, your strengths, what you can actually do, what you love to do, and then map it all together in order to come up with an idea. Or you can brainstorm with the people, right? You can discuss your idea and do a mental exercise, right? And come up with a very well-refined business idea, right? Now, we talked about ideation, but it's not only about ideation that you need to be creative. Creativity is very important in terms of coming up with branding and marketing ideas. Now, see, you are not alone in a competitive market. You have your competitors surrounding you from each and every side. Right. Now, there are many people, see, when we talk about entrepreneurship, we usually talk about a startup, right, which has just started, or even expansion comes into it, but mostly we talk about new ventures, right? So when I talk about coming up with branding and starting a venture, I know that my competitor has already developed a brand. Right? He has already developed a brand in the market. He has marketed his product very well. Right? So if you are creative enough, you can come up with a better branding. You can, because you have creative thinking, you can think of such marketing ideas which your competitor hasn't, because you have to be creative. You have no option left. So this is something which is very important for you to thrive as an entrepreneur, which means to become a successful entrepreneur. It's very, very important to actually have a better marketing idea. Then ideas for your blogs, your search engine optimization related content. Right, nowadays the entrepreneurs, they don't only market their products through websites. They write blogs also in order to make their business popular. For writing blogs, one has to be creative. Now, if I see, in everything you have to be creative. Now, if I write a blog for you, and it starts with very formal things, right? The formal definitions of different items, then I go on and make it very scientific. It may look boring to you. So you have to be a little creative to induce that curiosity in your audience. You can start with a statement like, have you ever looked for a product which has this feature A, B, or C? Now they're interested, they're inquisitive, they're curious to know more about it. And the ideas for writing these blogs, you have to be creative in that as well. Then you have your everyday business problems. Now you're not a robo, you're not a mechanical person to actually solve the problems in a very mechanical way. You have to be some creative in order to solve your day-to-day business problems. You need to find creative solutions to your business problems. Right? When the toothpaste sales were down, they decided to increase the size of that nozzle from where when you press the toothpaste, the paste comes out. So when you press, a bigger amount comes out. So that is being creative. Finding or working out a creative solution for your business. Then your social media strategies. See, today's world is very dynamic, today's business world. Like what the leaders are doing, you need to follow them, but you need to be creative in your own way. If you are actually promoting your product on Instagram, you have to have a very exciting social media strategy. You see, if I talk about the garment sector, like for ladies, we can say suits, dress material, stitched, where what people used to do earlier on, they used to post the pictures only, which is still popular. But many of the business women on Instagram, what they have started doing is they keep a live session. They keep a live session for an hour and they notify it in advance. So the product will be, it's a designer piece, and whoever will comment first, they will get the product, right? If it's a very beautiful design, nobody would want to actually miss that. So what they would do is they would be curious to attend the session, to attend the video call, right? To attend that, we can say, online session. And through that, they book their products very quickly. So it's fun, it's exciting, and it's useful as well. You have actually become creative in inducing the purchases from your potential buyers. So it's not just you need it at the time of conception or ideation. You need creativity throughout, because you'll be faced with a lot of challenges and they would seem exciting and you would love to solve them if you apply some creativity to it. Then you'll enjoy doing that. Now see, a creative entrepreneur, Thomas Alva Edison, forever known as that guy who invented the incandescent light bulb and the phonograph. And he's known to have said, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. What are his notable contributions? How has he become so creative? And how is he known as a creative entrepreneur today? What has he actually achieved to be known so? Now, first and foremost, forming numerous partnerships with industry leaders. So firstly, you know what, this Thomas Alva Edison, he was an independent entrepreneur with just a small laboratory and a very few, we can say, mechanists. Now, where was he creative? He realized that I cannot actually form a big empire by working in this small lab with few mechanists. So he started forming partnerships. He decided that because he knew he doesn't have enough resources to do it alone, otherwise who would like to share the profits? So he decided to form partnerships with industry leaders. He formed partnerships with large companies. And then he started inventing and developing products for whosoever among these companies would give him the highest bid. He was creative in his thinking. He decided that this is not a lonely journey. An application of mass production. Edison was created, we can say credited. He had the credit of being the first inventor to integrate the concept of mass production. The first ever industrial research lab was set up in New Jersey, and he was able to create it. Then he developed such systems that he could actually generate as well as distribute electricity to everywhere, to every nook and corner, to residences, to business houses, to industrial establishments, which actually we now know as the General Electric, a big corporation. Then how did he know that it's always wise to turn the failures into successes? Again, that ability which we saw in the activity which you talked about, that you cannot give up, right? He developed initially a processing iron ore, but it turned out to be a disaster, a failure. But he didn't actually get disheartened. And he didn't give up, he didn't quit. What he did instead was he modified the method. Again, an important quality which comes along with patience, perseverance. He was able to come up with a better cement production method. Then he diversified. He worked for government. He worked for military-related projects. He invented the tools in defense, the detectors which work submarine. Even the gun location techniques he introduced. Then talking about Steve Jobs. There is no, we can say, better example than Steve Jobs, who is the co-founder of Apple, right? He actually came out with a technology with some of the most innovative products. He inspired the future innovation in mobile technology precisely. Can you imagine a person who is just, this is an inspiration for all of us, a person who was just 21 years old when he founded Apple, with his partner Steve in their family garage. Just see where creativity takes you. And his contribution, he's totally, we can say, revitalized, transformed the Apple company. When he was actually reinstalled rather as CEO, the first thing was to have some changes incorporated in the system, right, in the existing organizational structure. So again, this gives us a big hint towards the importance of the structure and system of an organization. Like putting up a new management team in place. He even opted to have a $1 annual salary. Now look at the sacrifice of a person. Right? To be an entrepreneur, we need to be not only risk takers and creative and intelligent and hardworking or innovative only. We need to be sacrificial also sometimes. Because you want your business to grow. Then of course your personal growth comes along. So he also focused on the company's branding campaigns and reiterated the emphasis of being stylish, sophisticated in the designs of Apple. So there is a long list of revolutionary products Steve Jobs has come up with, which is actually his notable accomplishment as an entrepreneur. That is the MacBook Air, the iPod, the iPhone, and the iTunes. Now, if I ask you a question again regarding innovation, how important do you think is it to have a good hold on innovation for entrepreneurs, and why? Take 2 to 3 minutes, rather 5 minutes to think, but come up with pretty good answers, which I need from you. How important do you think is it to have a good hold on innovation for entrepreneurs? Yes, think for 3 to 5 minutes and tell me what do you feel about it. Okay, we are seeing the hands raised, so we'll start with Okimwa. Yes, Okimwa, tell me.
Yes, one of the the benefits of having good innovation is it helps in business growth in the way that when you come up with an idea and you implement, then the community and your business will expand because your mission is to create and have that idea implemented. Then one of the ways is that as competition increases in the market, you are able to have those challenges, such challenges solved due to your creativity and innovation aspects.
Yeah, very true. Very correct. Yes, so Kello.
Innovation helps like in competition of technology. When you develop something
Yeah,
new,
there is some
the
noise. There's noise. Yeah.
technology.
Could you please repeat? There is some noise in your microphone. Okay, hello.
I was saying that innovation helps like in the competition of new technologies, like in most of the companies.
Okay, so how important, can you please emphasize the importance of the same? Maybe through an example or something. Okay, if anybody else wants to speak, please. Yes, Godfrey, go ahead.
Yeah, basically, actually, what I wanted to say has been said by the first speaker, but I want to say that, innovation would really help you to present the same product in different forms in a market that would really suit the needs of different people. So in other words, it will help you keep your market base safe and be able to compete with other competitors in a successful way.
Yeah, so most importantly, you mean to say for survival, it's very important.
Yeah, sure.
Because we know a business is faced with dynamic environment, and it becomes really important to actually be innovative in your approach. Otherwise, you're gone, right? The big fishes will actually eat you in the market because you're not innovative, right?
True, very true. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Godfrey, for the insightful remarks. James, please go ahead.
So innovation leads to faster growth as customers respond well to come to the new product and service that meets their needs, and it also helps the business to secure long-term contracts by creating a brand loyalty to customers.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, James. Now, Okello, your hand is still raised. You want to make a better point or add something to it? Please go ahead. Okay, yes. Anybody else? What do you think is the importance of being innovative as an entrepreneur? Just think and interact and make the session more interesting with me. Yes, I would want the replies from your end. Please go ahead. Yeah, Xavier, please go ahead. I'm happy that you guys are interacting. Yes.
Doc. Yes, Doc. In innovation as an entrepreneur, Doc, could help to keep your customers. At the same time, also you attract new customers, and that will lead to the growth of your company.
Right. So it's very important. Until and unless we are innovative, it's very difficult to attract new customers or retain the existing customers. Because if you're not innovative, your competitor would be, right? And they can take away the market share from you. Right. Yes, Shamim, please go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes.
since implementing those
Yes,
ideas.
Shamim, and then I'll come to Shamim first, and I'll come to Okimoa.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Firstly, innovation is important. If in a company you are selling a T-shirt, which
Right.
is brand, which is brand, which is designable, which is affordable, which is special for everyone. In our generation, if I buy a T-shirt, some of our friends is a asking from me, "Oh, your T-shirt is very nice. Where you do it? Where you get it? Where do you buy? Where it's from? Which brand?" Like this, man. That's why if you create a thing which is special for everyone, you have to target what if create something, what I will sell, what my customer will be. First of all, you have to think that it's it will be good for you. I think so, man. And
Very,
if you think
very
that
true.
you will get more customer from this, man.
Yeah, because it's very important. Nobody would want to, though entrepreneurship, we start with the small venture. We start small, but nobody would want to remain small, right? This is human nature, number one. And number two, you have to follow the rules of the game, right? You have to expand. When companies decide to go global, because they know their competitors will. And if their competitors are innovative enough, creative enough that they will thrive well in the global market, then when they come back to the domestic market, the companies have the fear that they will beat us here. So it's better that we follow them and go to the international markets and decide to go to the global marketplace. It's very important to be innovative in your approach, right? In order to keep your current customers intact and retain them, plus attract the new customers. You have to always expand your customer base, even if you want to diversify in a different line of business. You have to be very innovative. Otherwise, nobody would come to you. Right? Yes, Okimwa, please go ahead.
As earlier on, I was saying, since we are doing what's called innovation, innovation is like, as you said, is putting those ideas in place. Therefore, it is sort of expanding the enterprise, and in the scene, you will tend to create employment opportunities to those other people who could be unemployed in the society. Therefore, you are trying to earn them income, so like supporting them.
Yeah, very true, very important. Anybody else? Happy to know your thoughts. But yes, I would like more of you to participate. Okay, let me ask you all a different question now, which is pertaining to your own self. So it's not necessary to talk about business because not all of you are entrepreneurs, I suppose. So can you tell me about a time when you think you were innovative? Any time of your life when you think you were innovative. Just trying to again discover the innovative capability in you all. Yes, helping you to do that. Now tell me about a time when you were innovative. Think. Take some 2 to 3 minutes to think and then raise your hands. So we'll come to you one at a time. So we can actually discover our innovative ability through this storytelling approach, which I am trying with you all. Yes. Yes, Okimwa, go ahead.
As to me, the appropriate time I would think that I would be innovative, and if in my place, like where I reside, I see there is a vacance of something that is capable for people to consume. It's a service that everyone would wish to have it. That is how I would feel like this is an idea which should be implemented. So at that time, if capital is all that available, then I would wish to be innovative by bringing what is necessary, what is missing in my place, to have it in the place.
Great. So you try to first kind of collate everything, and then what you try to be innovative in your approach by finding out the missing links. Is this what you intend to say, Okimwa?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's a great approach. And by this time, I hope many other people have also thought about the times when they think they were innovative, be it in your daily lives, be it in your, like any story which you are comfortable sharing, like when you think that you were actually innovative. Maybe the people who are doing their business, they can come up with interesting answers for us. Yes. Okay, let me put it in another way now. Can you tell me about a time when you, okay, yes, Aliyu More, please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So, I once worked in a food shop. We sold
Okay.
fruits. We would chop up the pineapple, watermelons. We would peel their skins and make fruit juice out of them and sell like fresh juice to people.
Right.
And we would throw this. We would throw the skins of those or peelings away. We would throw the peelings away. So, and then a few of my friends and I, we realized that the peelings of those fruits can be used to make compost. Which and then when you make the compost, you dry the fruits, the skins, and you can make compost, and then we can sell them to those that are doing farmings. So we started to do dehydration. We started dehydrating the skins of those fruits. After we collect them from the shop, we will dehydrate them, and then we'll go to the farm where we also buy the fruits from. We give it to them, and then they will reduce the prices of what we normally buy the fruit for, because they were using the compost as or means of fertilizers or natural fertilizers. So that is it.
Amazing, amazing. Really impressed to know that this is really an innovative approach to do things. Brilliant. Great to know that. Yeah. So who else? As I was saying, to put it another way, can you think about a time when you decided to solve a problem through an innovative approach? Okay, in your studies, in your careers, in your business, have you ever thought that you were being actually innovative? Yes, Akelo, please go ahead.
According to me, I think the right time is when I want to solve the problem, like in the business. If I'm having some problem, if I want to make some adjustments, then there I can do innovation.
Okay, great, great. Who else? Yes, Godfrey, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think one moment is now we have a group, actually a horticultural group that produces tomatoes basically. So you'll
Okay.
find that each time we would produce, because the tomatoes do not have a very long lifespan, sometimes before marketing they would rot and all that. So as a group, we thought of a way, how can we really be able to increase the half-life of this tomato? So we went ahead and thought of simple technologies that can be able to provide a very good cooling environment that will reduce the rate at which the tomato rots. And actually, when we did that, the number of tomato farmers within that village increased. So for me, I would think that was also another innovative way of addressing a challenge of the short lifespan of tomatoes. Thank you.
Very nice. So again, a
Yeah.
very innovative approach of doing things. Yeah. So maybe we are better able to discover our innovative abilities through this way, right? It's not just during this session. After this session, you'll think what you have done to become innovative and what you need to do to become innovative. Right, because if you want to become an entrepreneur, it's very important for you to be innovative. Not only in entrepreneurship, even in any other career which you take up. Right. So, Okello, you want to say something else? Your hand is still raised. Yes, we'd like to hear more from you. Yes, Okello. Okay, now a small test, a small litmus test, a small question wherein you don't need to speak. Just raise your hands. How many of you like to experiment? How many of you like to experiment? Okay, Elio, nice. Who else? You have just to raise your hand and yeah, okay, more. Great, Xavier, Mohammed, Godfrey. So, Hamid, Okello, great. Okay, now any of you who wants to say about what experiment you have done at any point in time, experiment which you have liked to do actually. Yes, any experiment. After that, we have to move ahead. Yes, please.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I when I was 17 years old, when I was class 8, that time
Okay.
I used the torchlight hat.
Okay.
We want to use a reflection mirror.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that was an experiment. Uh, some of us have done. That's true. So the thing to say is, yes, please. Muhammad, yes.
When the slide focus on the mirror, it's reflect and become
Yes,
a pipe.
Muhammad, we are not able to hear you.
Sorry, ma'am. I'm unmute, ma'am. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Muhammad, yes, please go ahead.
When the sunlight is focused on the mirror, when the sunlight is came on the mirror reflect, and we do image we used to make there. That's it, ma'am.
Yeah, great. Great. So, the thing to say is, in order to become an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur, it is sometimes very important for us to experiment with things, right? Because experimentation comes with your risk-taking propensity, right? You cannot always be sure that plan A will work. No, you have to be ready to experiment with plan B as well, right? Which is very important. So experimentation is something which is very much important when it comes to entrepreneurship. Now, there is something known as disruptive innovation. And when I talk about disruptive innovation, see, we know that we live in a dynamic society where the business environment is very volatile, the technology is advancing every now and then. And there is a process of innovation which actually makes a product which replaces all else in the industry. That means a product becomes more affordable, more accessible, and has actually the capacity, the capability to reshape the entire industry. Like you have an example of Uber. I hope many of you might have heard about Uber, the cab service, right? So they reshaped the entire industry through GPS location. Your cab arrives at your spot, at your location, and actually helps you reach your destination in a very hassle-free and affordable manner. Right, so this is what? This is a disruptive innovation. An innovation which has reshaped the entire industry, the entire cab industry, right? Through an app, you are able to book a ride for yourself. Now here we have an example of an Indian innovative entrepreneur, Dhirubhai Ambani. I don't know if you have heard his name or not. So, Dhirubhai Ambani is the person who started his textile company in India at that time when the industry was facing a terrible environment. A totally
Ma'am, the slide,
unfavorable and yeah,
ma'am, the slide is blurred, not clear.
sorry.
Actually, I'm saying about this light. This light is blurred, not clear, ma'am.
Okay, it's not, it's a blur. Just a second. Is it visible now?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, it's clear. It's clear, ma'am.
Yeah,
I
It's
think
clear?
it's
Okay.
network issue.
Okay, great. Thank you. So maybe Hamid, there is some issue which you can sort out. He started a textile company at that time At that point in time, when the industry was facing a terrible business environment, a hostile business environment, and absolute hostility was there. There was general recession going on in the country. And you know, recession is a phase in an economy wherein the prices have actually, the output has gone down, there is unemployment, right? The economy is suffering, the growth is coming down, right? The economy is actually moving towards a phase wherein it is not doing much in terms of economic progress. Now, at that point of time, the government policy, see, a political environment is very important, like any other environment. Political environment is very important for an entrepreneur. And the government policy at that point of time, it was in support of small power loom units on one hand, and against the mill sector on the other hand. Why? Because a differential taxation structure was imposed on them. Right. Now, almost all the small power loom entrepreneurs, they were actually criticizing this policy. They thought that imposing a differential tax structure, right, this is actually, we can say, against them as well. They were criticizing this discriminatory policy, and they were demanding support from the government to protect them in the market. Right. Now, this Dhirubhai Ambani, he had an uncanny knack. He identified an opportunity even in such unfavorable environment. He actually realized that the small power loom units could produce goods with high quality, right? But were finding it difficult to market them. So what did he decide to do in such a situation? Wherein the power loom units would produce the goods with high quality, maintained, but at the same time they were finding it difficult to market them. Therefore, what he decided was to get high quality goods produced by these small power loom units. And this was as per his specifications at a relatively low cost. So he got them processed and printed with exquisite designs. And what he did was he sold them under his popular, globally, we can say, at least widely accepted brand in the market. And he actually made huge money out of it. So again, we come to the discussion part of it. So let me just zoom out. What, according to you, are the qualities of an innovative entrepreneur, just based on this example? You have to answer me based on this example.
Please repeat the question, ma'am.
Okay, based on this example, right, we tried to see the innovative qualities of the Dhirubhai Ambani. Now, based on this example, what do you think are the qualities of innovative entrepreneurs?
Okay, so for me, I would say one is from your point of view that you gave on his story. One will be taking advantage of an hostile market. That was the first thing. He took advantage of the hostile market while other entrepreneur was afraid to invest. He saw a future and took the risks, which is, as an entrepreneur, you should be able to take risks and marginalize your profit. So by bringing up quality products into the market with an hostile environment, will attract investor and also attract consumability to his market. That's one quality he possesses.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yes, who else wants to speak? Most welcome. Yeah, Okimo, please go ahead.
Yes, though the government, okay, like according to the story, though the government squeezed up him, I think even to the market he wasn't getting it well. But what according to the story I understood is that he started like making quality goods so as to meet the market demand and outcompete other entrepreneurs. Then another thing was he was so creative and honest because by so doing quality, he was honest that even if goods are consumed, they will gain profits out of it.
Right. Great. Again, a great answer. Yes, who else would like to respond? Yes, Shamim, please go ahead.
Yeah. I want to tell the main quality of entrepreneurship. There are one main entrepreneur quality that I think is discrimination.
Okay, how? Can you please explain it further?
If there had been discriminate with you, your stakeholders, you will never success your project.
Okay.
If
So,
you discriminate religionally, it's from Bangladesh, it's from India, like villages. There are so many discrimination, gender discrimination, and also so if they
but
are
how do you relate it? But how do you relate it to the current example, and how do you actually relate it with innovation? You're right in making a bigger point, but here, how do you relate it with innovation? Is what I want, or anybody else who wants to take up.
sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, discrimination, fine, but how do you relate it to this very example, and how do you actually relate it to innovation is something which I want from you.
Oh, ma'am, please tell me your question, please. Your question,
Yeah,
please, again.
based on the example of Dhirubhai Ambani, what do you think are the qualities of an innovative entrepreneur?
Oh, be as a determination and participate and in a success entrepreneurship like project. If there has never been a success story, you just step back when hands for solution and other
Shamim,
surprise.
there is some background noise. I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear you properly.
Actually, not from me. Someone is unmute.
Okay, okay. Yeah, please go ahead now. Please make your point.
Being determined, prevention as a patient.
Okay. Okay, so
Determination and perseverance often list as a factors in the
yeah,
success of entrepreneurial project, man. Like
yeah,
motivation, possessiveness, your vision, and also what your confidence is. And you should make also decision making.
Yeah, very nice. So we can say innovation is or needs to be coupled with few other things like few other qualities like determination, perseverance, right? And in this example, we can see how a person is able to take advantage of the hostile environment. So identifying an opportunity is also very important quality of an innovative entrepreneur. Right. Then risk taking, which nobody else is doing, you are doing it. That's a big risk. But an innovator is a risk taker as well, isn't it?
Like
Right.
if innovate, you should take risks.
Yeah. True.
If you don't take it, you will fail. You will not get your success. You will not get your goals, man.
True. True enough. Godfrey, your turn. Yes. Anybody else who wants to speak? Okay. So we'll move ahead. Now see, here is another example, right? So the Nirma man, that is the Karsan by Patel, who actually was an ordinary chemist in a Gujarat Mineral Development Corporation. So what he did is he started experimentation in his own kitchen in order to offer an affordable detergent to rural housewives who actually used to struggle a lot in order to balance their budget. Right. Now, what he wanted to do is he wanted to fulfill a need in an economy, right, in his community rather, right, in order to help the rural housewives to balance their budgets. So there is something known as social entrepreneurship, right, which has a term which has become popular now. Right. So we can actually relate it with that. Right. You decide to fulfill the social responsibility through your business. That means you're making profits plus you're working for the attainment of social goals of your community, your people. Now, his efforts yielded a pale whitish yellow detergent, which is known as Nirma, and today it is one of the world's biggest detergent brands. Right. Can we say, do you think Karsan Bhai Patel was an innovative entrepreneur? So is anybody impressed with the innovative entrepreneurial ability of this Nirma man?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. According, actually, as my perspective, I am
Yes,
unable. I am I am unable to see this light, ma'am.
I'm able to hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. This I'm not visible. This light. This remove our upper light of the meeting.
Okay, I'm not able to understand what you want to say.
Actually, I want to say about the this man. Actually, I'm not visible to this slide about the detergent brand. Yeah, okay, ma'am. I'm visible now. Okay, I will say something about this.
Okay, Godfrey, go ahead.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
At my past, the Lima man was the ordinary factory. Then her Niranjana sister, daughter, is now today is Nema one of the world biggest detergent brand. That's mean uh, her father do the best thing for the next generation, and the Niranjana is because the Niranjana is Nema is world biggest detergent brand for innovation of her father and creativity of her father. That's the I realized that her father did a good job of the innovative entrepreneur for the next generation and his daughter. Right, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah, true. So he actually worked hard to fulfill the social need in his community of rural women who would struggle with their budgets, right? So he came up with an affordable detergent, which is now known as one of the biggest detergent brands. Yeah. So yes,
Yeah,
Godfrey, please go ahead. These are small cases through
Come
which,
again with your question, madam.
yeah, sorry.
Come again with your question.
Yeah, the question is, what do you think about the innovative abilities of this Karsan Bhai Patel?
Hello?
Yeah, Godfrey. Charles.
Yes, Charles, yes.
Okimwa.
All right. According to Carson by Patel, me, I think he was so innovative because on the aspect that he valued the situation and saw that actually there is like what is lacking. There is something lacking in the area, so he opted for assisting and he came up with that detergent that he managed to offer services to the ladies and also balancing on their daily income because as per that we thought he would actually improve on the community lifestyle. Yeah, I think so. So the innovation is good.
Yeah,
I value
very
it
true.
so
Yeah, so the thing was already there, but
Yes,
he built it up.
he is
He built
innovative
up
and
on this.
entrepreneur.
Yeah, Godfrey, you want to say something?
Uh, not really, but I would think this could also be a good example of, we called it disruptive innovation. I don't know, I can't think of it, where, you know, the innovation brings into play a totally new product that actually takes over the market and
Yeah.
is able to benefit.
Yeah, so innovation is not totally new. It is building up on the existing. So we cannot say it to be a disruptive innovation which actually reshaped the entire industry. But yes, an innovative capability in a person who tried to fulfill a community need, which is
Okay.
something very appreciable. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Godfrey. So now another example of Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, who started her business from a car garage with a capital of just 10,000 INR. And by now, she is the Chief Executive Officer of Biocon Group, considered as the pioneer among the Indian business persons and recognized as the India's biotech queen by economists. And even the New York Times has recognized the lady as the India's mother of innovation. Right. So having a biotechnology business grown in leaps and bounds is something which talks high about the innovative capability of the lady. Yeah. And now, can we say that innovation and creativity can be cultivated? So there's a common belief that you're born creative, you have innovative tendencies. If it is if you're born with it, like if it is inborn, then yes, you're born with a silver spoon. But yes, it depends on certain things. Your creativity depends on certain things. Number one, how it is developed in your formative years. That means as a young child, what kind of activities you are exposed to. So tomorrow, if you want your children to become innovative, you have to expose them to such activities where they can actually discover their creativity levels. Right? Because in adults, they are very clear in defining themselves as being creative or not. So the truth is that even those who do not deem themselves to be creative, even they have dormant creativity. That means that creativity which is passive, which is not active, but which lies inside them. That means everybody can be creative. Anybody and everybody can be creative. It's just that you need to awaken your creativity. And how you can do that? By drawing, by creative writing. If it's your business, do a mind mapping, read a fiction, or you can do anything else in order to awaken your creativity. Now, talking about launching new ventures, which is another important topic of today's session. So we have got some simple yet important steps. Number one, identify your passion and niche. Means you have to identify, you have to determine what you are most passionate about. Right. So while you are attending this session, you can note down at your own place in just a line. You don't need to share with me, but in a one-liner, you can just see what you are most passionate about. Now, if your business aligns with your interests, then it would be very fulfilling and very satisfying for you. Whenever I have given training sessions to the aspiring entrepreneurs here, I tell them one thing: do what you love to do and do what you're good at. And when these two things coincide, nothing like that. The victory is yours. Yes, Hamid, you want to say something? Please go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, I'm asking about this slide. Why is slide is so blurred? As the previous problem, man.
Yeah, I think, Hamid, there is some issue at your end, because if others are feeling the same, please let me know.
It is
Yes,
just grey and okay. It's just okay.
it's okay. Okay, okay, Mua, okay, hello. Anybody
I
else?
don't have any problem.
No problem?
No, I don't have any problem.
Okay, Godfrey also doesn't have a problem. So I think there is some connectivity issue, Hamid, at your end. I'm sorry for that, but I will not be helpful in that case. There is some issue at your end.
Okay,
Right?
thank
It's
you, ma'am. I'm trying to see clearly. Thank you, ma'am.
okay, okay. No problem. Okay, so you can identify your specific niche or target audience within your creative field. Say, for example, I'm a teacher by profession, right? Now I have to launch my own venture. Now this COVID-19 has taught us to uh, give lectures in an online mode, which I'm currently doing. Now, if I'm interested in doing this, plus I'm good at it, I don't say I'm good at it, but if I'm good at it, and if I'm interested in doing it, and I decide to develop an app, an application through which I can actually fulfill this wish of mine, which aligns with my interests, right? So don't you think I would be a successful entrepreneur this way? Definitely, if the two things match, I will be. Why? Because it would satisfy me. Right, now I know I've identified the niche that in today's times it's very easy and convenient to give online lectures. Plus, I feel my creativity lies here, so I can actually develop a niche for myself. Then developing your skills. It's very important that you hone your creativity and update it with the latest trend in the market. When you identify your passion, but you have something which is lacking, it's very wise to invest in the workshops, in the courses, in the programs where you can enhance this expertise. Then create a business plan. When I say a business plan, it doesn't only mean that you need to form a startup cost sheet. It is much, much, much beyond that. You start with your cost sheet, then go ahead with your competition analysis. Try to see who are the major competitors in the market. At least 4 or 5 major competitors. What is your target market? How much share has the competitor already grabbed? What is the suitable pricing strategy for you? How do you intend to finance your business? Do you have a premium product? Then you can use a skimming pricing strategy. That means you can charge a high price and skim the cream of the market. Or else you can have a product which is priced low and you follow a penetration pricing strategy, right? To actually offer a low price for your product and penetrate deep into the market. Depending on your product, you have to define your market, your competition, your pricing strategy. How do you intend to market your product? What would be your social media strategy? Do you want to raise funds from a bank or do you want to approach a venture capitalist? Who could be an individual or a firm who would invest in your business and give you or help you with his management skill. So you have to have a clear business plan in mind about how do you generate income and sustain your creative business. Then the legal and financial considerations, very important. You need to register your business because then only you can say it is a registered legal company and meet all the necessary legal requirements, any kind of licenses, permits you want to have. Now depends how supportive your business environment is. You have to set up a different bank account. Why? Because you are different from your business. Businessman and his entity are totally two different entities. You cannot have your personal savings account. It's always better to have your separate business account, because even your capital, which is your own money, don't see it as your money, see it as an internal liability. You have to earn something on it tomorrow. So you should track your incomes and expenses accordingly. Then you need to build an online presence. You have to create a professional website, because it's very important nowadays. Gone are the days when you would sit on a shop and sell your product. Now you need to have an Instagram, Facebook account, do social media marketing, invest in it, connect with your target audience through these online platforms, e-commerce websites like you have Etsy, even the freelance platforms. Then networking and collaboration. Like I told you, the beauty of networking and collaboration is above all. What networking can fetch you, nothing else can. So try to meet people, attend the business fests, attend the trade shows, and seek opportunities to collaborate with others so that you can actually expand your reach. There is no harm in visiting a place where you feel there is a similar business with whom you can collaborate and expand actually. You search the internet, you'll find hundreds and thousands of the like businesses. Then you need to market your brand, which is again very important. You need to have a marketing strategy wherein you need to be particular about how to brand your product, how to create content. The content has to be engaging and attractive as per your audience. How to promote your product in the market. How to use offline, online, social media, email marketing tactics in order to reach your audience, your target market. So you have to market your brand in the market, which is very important. So we can say an entrepreneur needs not to be good at just one thing. Initially, you can't afford to hire too many people. You have to be your marketing manager, you have to be your HR manager, hire people, if need be, 2-3 people initially, say 5 people. You have to be your finance manager, you have to decide how to manage your finances. You have to provide exceptional service to customers by delivering standard products or services. Then you have to see whether your customers are satisfied or not. You have to encourage the client feedback. Because in today's times, we don't talk about a large-scale production is all we want. We talk about customer approach, customer centricity. Customer is the king. So you can actually encourage their feedback and use it to improve your product offerings, improve your services. Then you have to keep a record of your income and expenses. Initially, you cannot hire an accountant, but eventually, as you grow, have someone who will actually help with the finances. It's very important to manage finances well. Initially, you may think that it's just I have the we can say on my fingertips I know the costs and revenues I have made from my products. But as you grow, it becomes complex. So you have to manage your finances well. And adapt and innovate. We have seen through this session how important the innovation is. You have to be open to change. Right, the creative industry is very dynamic and you have to be flexible. If you say that this is my plan and I'll stick hardcore to it, it's very difficult to thrive. As and when the trend changes, you have to react. Then time management. You have to balance the work, personal life, and your business operations. What is important is what you have to prioritize at the top and manage your time effectively rather than wasting time. Say you have a very busy day, you have a number of orders, and you waste your time on buying stock for the next day. That is not at all wise, isn't it? Then seek feedback and learn. It's very important to have a 360-degree appraisal, right? Learn from your peers, your clients, and your mentors. Let people criticize you, no problem. Use it constructively to improve your work. A continuous learning and we can say adapting to be competitive in the market is something which is very important. More steps, patience and persistence. If you are discouraged by the setbacks, you cannot improve and survive in the market. Now, if you have a technological know-how, you need to protect or if your work is very creative, you need to protect it. Nobody should copy it from you. Your trademarks, your patents, your copyright, it should be protected. And most importantly, seek support and mentorship. That is why many people go to venture capitalists. Venture capitalist is a firm or an individual who gives you money, who invests in your business and participates with you in managing it. That means venture capitalist has the know-how, the managerial skill to guide you and mentor you in your business. So that guidance and support is very important for a naive, new startup. So you need to seek that support. You need to find such mentor. So having talked about these many steps, I would like to know something from you now which you feel is the most important step in launching a new venture. Yes, please go ahead. Yes, I repeat, what do you think, apart from this, is a very important step, or even in these steps, what do you think is the most important step in launching a new venture? As per your understanding of the subject matter. Yes, Eliu, please go ahead. Great. Gabriel, yes, tell me.
How are you, ma'am?
Hi.
Yeah, fine. So I've joined the very when I've just been, but the 2 months come late. I've seen the number 15 point which says seek support and mentorship. It's a very terrible thing which helps everyone because no one can start on his own without any support from anyone. I think I feel we need to seek support from other people, ideas and mentorship for us to stand and do and achieve what we want. Even at school, we don't just go in class and learn without a lecturer like you are teaching us. We need support from you. As we are teaching, that's a support we need from you, because we can't know without you explaining how to do things and how to handle situations. I think I feel number 15 points is a very cardinal for each and every consideration to join in the intervention. Thank you.
Yeah, great, Gabriel. Even I place highest importance on this point, right? Other points are equally important, but yes, seeking support and having a mentor is very important. If you have this support, you can actually thrive. Why? See, everybody has his or her own journey, but when you have a mentor who can actually guide you through all the challenges which he or she has already faced, so that becomes an add-on to you. That is something you can actually be proud of and do well by this. Yeah. Anybody else? Okay. So I think, yeah, Okimwa, tell me.
According to me,
Yeah.
According to me, what I've seen is that even I'm so good in the sense that if my enterprise is big, I can seek for legal protection. For example, if I insure my enterprise, then I'm accountable for risks. Though an entrepreneur should take risks, yeah, it is true. But to some extent, if I insure my enterprise, then I'm also accountable for other risks that sometimes may come in.
Yeah. Right. Very true. What else? Anybody else? Okay. So now I'll walk you through a very important and popular tool which helps you in launching your venture, which is the pestle analysis. And when I say pestle analysis, it means that you're actually studying the political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal environment before you start your venture, which is very important. So political environment, you have to see, is there a conflict zone where you want to operate? Then it's a problem. Is there dictatorship? What are the facilities the policy environment is giving you? What is the waste reduction policy? Many a times it has been seen that developed world comes to developing economies for FDI and other things because they feel their waste reduction policies are lenient. If the taxes are too high, if the taxation policy is not conducive, it's not supportive, you're being charged high taxes in your startups, then sorry, your startup policy environment is not at all supportive for your business. So you need to ask yourself certain questions with regard to the political environment. Right? When is the country's next election? And how could this change, we can say, the government policy? Right? Who are the likely contenders for power and how is their political ideology? How will the business regulation be affected by it? Right? What is the, you can say, the likely outcome of such a business on your, of such a government on your business? What is the time scale of a proposed legislative change? Are there any other political factors which you need to look into? All of this is very important. Likewise, when you go on talking about the economic factors, you need to see, because economic factors affect your business like anything. You need to see, are there any inflationary trends in the economy? Is the market saturated? How is the growth? What are the interest rates? Can we borrow at a convenient rate? Can we have an easy finance for our business? How is the economy doing? Because that would have an impact on your new venture. Right. Then your social factors. Social factors, you look at the people. How are their purchasing habits? If I launch a premium product in the market, which is very creative, but does it go with the purchasing habit of the society? What is the budget per household? Right, if you see the Nirma man, how well had he analyzed the social environment? By helping people to maintain their budgets and actually making a huge money out of it. The cultural influence in the country. In some countries, certain things are being seen as normal, which are otherwise prohibited and seen as immoral or not going with a cultural norm. You have to see where to start and what to start, given the society, given the social environment. Right, so you need to ask certain questions to yourself. What is the growth rate and age profile? Is there going to be a generational shift? And if that is happening, what are you going to do? Is it going to affect your business? What social attitudes and social taboos could affect your business? Do religious beliefs and the lifestyle choices affect this population where you're going to start up? Any socio-cultural factor you need to be aware of in order to start a business, start a new venture. Then your technological environment. How is the country's technical and logistic resources? What is the expertise level? What are the latest developments? Right. Is there a change in the rate of a new product development? Are there any new technologies coming up? Right, that could radically affect your business. Do your competitors have access to the new technologies? Very important to see. How has the infrastructural change affected the work patterns? Do you have any technological hubs in the country where you can learn? Where you can engage with the tools necessary to adapt such technology or develop such technology in your own business? Then environment, very important. You see, when the plastic ban was imposed in different countries, right? India, the single-use plastics supposed to ban, right? So obviously the plastic companies, they need to think about the alternatives, because nowadays sustainability is an important thing. Right? They need to see if they can actually have the biodegradable plastics. What best they can do to do away with the use of single-use plastics, like your disposable, those water bottles and straws, etc. Now people are very much aware about the environmental aspects of a business. You need to preserve the animal and plant life. You need to have a suitable environment to launch any activity. You have to have a proper climate, and for certain activities you have to actually see the soil and the climate of that very country, right? Then you have to go ahead and see the pollution level. What are the weather patterns? What are the chances of any new, we can say, environmental protection policy to come up? And how does it affect your line of business? Then talking about the legal aspect of it, the employment laws of the country, the laws related to your activity, the permits, the authorizations, other requirements. What are the legal aspects? So once you analyze the environment, you have to brainstorm after this all the opportunities, because first you need to identify and understand the hurdles and loopholes in the business environment. So once you identify that these are the changes which are happening in the environment, now it is the time to look at each one of them in a great detail. Like, could it help you develop a new product or open up a new market or make your processes more efficient? Does the pestle analysis help you in doing so? Then identify the threats, brainstorm. Just see what now and in future are the threats. Are you going early enough or you are late to venture into this market? What is the impact? You need to do an assessment. And finally, after doing all the risk analysis, right, for example, if a core part of your market is in a demographic decline, could you target the other market areas? Or if technology is threatening a key product, can you adapt to it? Then only it's better to venture into it. Then after this risk analysis, you have to finally take action, and that is when you make your business plan and act on it, which is very important. Right. So based on this, can anybody of you now tell me and reflect on this pestle analysis? Has anybody in his or her business, those of you who are entrepreneurs, right, small or big, have you done some kind of such analysis, though informally, in your business? Yes, the platform is open to you all. Yes, Eliu, go ahead. Or even if you have not done any pestle analysis, how do you see its importance if you're going to start your own venture? Can you describe it in your own words? Yeah, Gabriel, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's very important to do that analysis so that we have a proper view of doing a business. When it comes to political issues, it's more important to analyze on certain what type of business are you going to do, because if there will be a change of government or political tension, we've seen number of the companies have fall down and lose their financials because of maybe they didn't take time to look into that constellation. So it's very important to analyze any in all angles so that we still stand firm to our business. We don't fall back. Yeah, I think that's what I've understood, and it's very important. According to my understanding, it's very important in everything. Because even when you want to start building, you do analysis. Which area am I going to build out? Is it near to the market or near to the hospital? How many kilometers? All sorts of things so that it will help you on a financial costing, like traveling, it's a long distance or what. So even in the business, you consider those things to help you in how to maintain your business. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your wonderful thoughts and highlighting the importance of the very important and popular tool of analyzing the business environment, which is the pestle analysis. Any more thoughts, please? Yes, Xavier, please go ahead.
Yes, Doc. I've actually seen that pestle analysis is very, very important if a business is to stand. What I've realized is if you get into business without doing the pestle analysis, a business may crumble within a shortest possible time because you have not looked at the favorable environments under which you should operate. Considering issues of politics, issues of the economy, issues of the environment, legal, and the like, it is very, very important because that is what will help you see how well your business will operate even before it is established. Otherwise, if you rush into doing business without getting into doing the analysis of this pestle, I see a business that will not last because of external forces that you may not have anticipated and will quickly bring it down. So when a pestle analysis is done, it will make you make a good judgment on how well your business should be established, where, how, and what. So pestle analysis is very, very important, Doc. Thank you.
True enough. True enough. Thank you so much, Xavier. Yes, Hamid.
Actually, ma'am, we have a good observer from this meeting. I'm so happy. But yes, we have left by the time no, 9:30 in India. But no, the meeting is still going to end. Ma'am. Actually, my phone is very low of the stuff.
Okay. Thank you. And I'm very thankful to all of you for a patient listening and interacting and making this session more interactive. Thank you very much. It was really so nice to interact with all of you today. Thank you very much. Any points, any feedback, most welcome before we call it a day.
Ma'am, I have a
Hello,
question.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I want to know about where we get the file, the PPT file, ma'am.
Okay, I'll share the PPT file with your coordinator, and I don't know about their policy if they share it with the students, but I have no problem in doing that. I'll ask him about it, don't worry, and he'll coordinate with you on this.
Actually, ma'am, we have a specific subject we get there. We get our daily class on there, but there is no subject about today's class. That's why I'm feeling something.
No problem. I'll take up the matter with Dr. Joseph, and I have no problem in sharing my PPT with him. He can share it with you all, right?
Okay, ma'am. If you share the PPT file with him, it will be better, ma'am.
Sure, sure. Any other feedback? Any other? I hope you enjoyed the session.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So much.
Today
Yes,
very
madam. We enjoyed the session.
effective class.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yaro, before you go, madam. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I joined very late, so I don't know if this session will continue and for how long it will run. So that I know.
Yeah, I'm not able to understand you.
I'm saying for how long this session will run. How many times are we going to have it? We have and then it takes 1 month or what duration? I just want to know duration. This
Okay.
entrepreneurship.
It was a 3 hour session. Yeah.
So it has ended.
Yeah. And I hope you enjoyed this time with me. Thank you very much.
So much, doctor. Thank
Great.
you too.
Thank you. Glad to know. Yeah. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. It was good interacting with you. It was a nice presentation. I've learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.